alive. I'm awake this morning.
How's your week been so far?
Oh wow. The week just began, but it's nice and sunny out, so that helps in a huge way lately.
What did you eat for breakfast today?
I think I had a bowl of Cheerios.
If you were a type of drink, what drink would you be?
My AP Latin students would probably laugh. They saw me last year drinking a lot of unsweetened iced tea with lemon, so I guess that would probably be my favorite drink.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would you have dinner with?
Oh, history. Okay. Right now I'm reading the Aeneid with my AP students, so maybe I would say, I don't know if he's historical, but he's sort of a mytho-historic figure. Maybe I'll say Aeneas.
Do you pour your milk into your cereal or your cereal into your milk?
It depends on how awake I am and what I reach for first, in the cupboard or the fridge.
Coffee or tea?
I don't really drink either very much. Usually I'm just gonna have like ice water or, something else to drink. I don't really do the like hot morning beverages with the caffeine wake up in the morning.
What would your perfect day look like?
A couple times I have spent a weekend at the beach with some old friends to celebrate their birthdays. They're a couple and their birthdays are like 3 days apart. And I have to say, I think a day that's spent mostly on the beach by the ocean, that ends with a sunset there is probably my favorite kind of vacation or way to spend the day so far.
What is one thing you wish you could tell your younger self?
I think I heard from a lot of adults, be yourself, don't be afraid to be yourself. And I think upon reflection, I noticed that a lot of my friends always say that and have said that. But if you're not like your friends in terms of their activities and their interests, um, it's very easy to drift apart after a certain number of years. So maybe be yourself, but don't totally forget to be the person your friends want you to be, or else they may not be your friends anymore.
What was your favorite childhood memory?
I don't think I have one outstanding or overriding, memory of being a kid. Like nothing, there's no like a highlight reel that I can think of. Lots of little fun, little more impressions or places and people I liked when I was little, not a single moment in time.
Who was your favorite teacher as a child?
Oh wow. I had a half a dozen teachers in elementary school and high school that I was really close to. And I don't think it was related to a specific subject, but it was people with whom I felt I connected, whether it was in my classroom or in an extracurricular. So it was just people I liked to go back to school and visit. There's still even a couple of university faculty, but somebody I felt I could ask a question of during class and they were answering me. They weren't just answering my question, or people I could go back to and have, well, I just said I don't really like coffee or tea, but someone I could go back and have, a meal with or a drink with after I graduated, sometimes a long time after I graduated.
So, what was your favorite subject in high school?
The languages department. I took I think I took 5 language classes in high school.
5 different languages?
No, not different languages, different classes. So in 4 years, I took I think 5 classes. But now I took 3 different languages in high school.
Wow. If you could trade lives with any staff member at the school for a day, who would you choose?
Maybe for the commute, I would trade lives with Ms. Shoemaker. Plus, her baby is really cute on camera.
Which Disney princess are you?
um, I will tell you probably my 2 favorite Disney movies. Well, favorite Disney movies are Snow White, Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast. But I think the character I like most is Aladdin because his songs are in my vocal range.
What's the best movie you've ever seen?
I think it's not the best because it's really good, but I think it's the best because it was one of the first like non-cartoon or non-kid movies I saw just at a at a sleepover with some friends in middle school, but it turned into a book I like to read and an author I like to read and a series of books I like to read. They're actually remaking it this year. It's called Dune.
If there was a TV show about your life, what would be its name?
This year, it might be called Stop This Train, I Want to Get Off.
Who would you want to play you?
Maybe because when I looked in the mirror this morning, I really, really, really hadn't shaved in a couple days. Uh, Colin, it's not Colin Firth. There's another actor. He's got a great Irish accent. Huh. I don't remember his name right now, but he never looks like he's shaved in any of his movies. His name is Colin somebody. I don't remember right now. Shucks.
On that same vein, what are you most likely to become famous for?
Absolutely, positively nothing. Fame and notoriety were never, ever goals I had. The more I watch, whether it's political news or government news or celebrity news, I don't even count my followers on social media. No gracias.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
It was phrased differently, but two college classmates my senior year both wanted to help out, and neither one really knew how. And so I think they both said things in a different way that a lot of teachers and adults say to students, and students sort of nod their head and shake their, chin and don't really believe their teachers. But, other people, your friends, don't know how to fight for you. So you have to fight for yourself, if only to give them an example to follow, to be supportive.
What is the best advice you've ever given?
I told a couple AP students 2 years ago the same thing I answered for a few questions ago, and they looked at me kind of shocked and horrified. But don't forget to be like your friends, because otherwise friendships change and drift over time.
If you were forced to give up one of your senses, which one would you give up?
I guess if I could get a car that I could drive with my hands, I don't love running. I might give up sort of like feet and walking. That might be the only thing I can imagine not having every day.
What is your biggest fear?
When I was very little, I used to be terrified of the dark. But somewhere, maybe when I got my first apartment and just learned how to navigate around in the dark in my apartment, I didn't worry about it so much anymore.
If you could solve any world issue, which one would you solve?
I'm going to take a pass on that one, Karen. We just got some good reminders from Dr. Fulton and some of our LCPS administrators to be careful about political activities and statements.
Okay. What's your favorite word in any language?
I love the way subito sounds in Latin. It just means suddenly. It's a silly little adverb, but I like the way it sounds. It makes me smile.
Would you rather live in the city, the suburbs, or the country?
Definitely the city. I grew up in a suburb bordering on a rural area. I love the city. I wish I could metro to work.
What is special about the place you grew up?
At sunrise, it was very, very calm, very, very quiet and peaceful. And at midnight in the middle of winter, the moon was always so bright and really fresh, pristine, very quiet snow.
If you had to pick a new name for yourself, what would it be?
Well, I have four initials, but my first two are DJ. And actually, when I moved to Washington, I must have sent someone an email, and they only saw my initials, so they started calling they started calling me DJ. So that's actually a nickname I go by with some people until different groups of friends meet, and they're like, "Wait, do you go by Damien or DJ?" So I kind of accidentally created my own nickname for myself.
Cats or dogs?
I probably would only get a pet if my roommate really, really wanted one. I think he wants a dog, and I definitely have to say I would start taking a lot more Benadryl if we had a cat.
Yeah, me too. What jobs have you had prior to this one?
I had some jobs as a camp counselor in high school and university. But pretty much, other than working like in an office on campus, I've been teaching since I graduated.
How did you decide to go into teaching?
I was in a graduate program, and I was a teaching assistant for in exchange for tuition. And after I finished my graduate program, it made the best sense to kind of keep on doing what I already knew and what I'd kind of trained for a couple years.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
I think there's a moment at the very beginning of class while students are coming in from the hallway, when they don't think a teacher's listening, when they're talking to someone else or they're talking to someone in the hallway. Sometimes they're racing to beat the bell, or they're chasing or being chased by someone else in the hallway, where I get a chance to see teenagers just being very unself-conscious, unself-aware, very, I guess the word is almost just silly and fun, instead of being too worried about school or too worried about anything else. They're a little bit more relaxed and they're funny to watch. And sometimes if they're really unguarded, it's easy to join in that moment and kind of continue with that, little bit of humor, a little bit of personality.
If you could have any job besides teaching, what would it be?
You know, I always liked my job in an office on campus. So maybe I would be a secretary or a receptionist, because I never minded that job. That job was just very easy, not easy, but it was always very organized. It was always very orderly. It was not the ninth week of the first marking period when everything is in chaos.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I think I would like to be able to read people's minds sometimes, to know if they really mean something or if they're just saying it to be polite. Adults, teachers, or adults, friends, coworkers, students, everybody.